Have you seen this article in the New York Times about mankeeping, referring to women having to be responsible in their heterosexual relationships about the social circles of the man, and they are also the keepers of the emotional life of the man. And what's new? Ask your grandparents, how often was the woman not the Minister of Social Affairs? And how often did the man not confide their emotional life primarily to women? But they had friends. They went fishing, they went hunting, they went hiking, they went kayaking, they went skiing, they went to do activities. They just didn't necessarily talk about their feelings, but they had intimate connections. And this loneliness phenomenon is actually adding more and more weight on the couples and on the primary relationships. So there are two models in my idea. You can have a couple that is at the center of your life and it really encapsulates all, or you can have a life with many relationships in which your romantic relationship is one central one, but it is not the focal one. That creates a very different role distribution. And I think that at this moment where the nuclear family is just so overwhelmed and overburdened and under-resourced, I've been saying for 20 years that we cannot ask one person to be what an entire community should be. That one person should provide us our sense of belonging and continuity and sociability, but also our sense of security and our sense of adventure and just everything in one person. You need other people to confide to, you need other people to do things with. But for that, you need relationships in which everybody is willing to respect the other person when they say, I'm going to go see so-and-so. In centuries prior, men have had plenty of friends. They had men that they talked with, they discussed life, the world, politics. They may not have discussed their inner life. But that is also in and of itself a definition of modern intimacy, as into me-see, rather than as in we share things together that create a bond between the two of us. So if we're going to add man-keeping, we need to also redefine intimacy. We also need to redefine interdependence and coupling and sociability.